It's the Pullman Show, and it's live
on the Plot Malaysia.
Hello, welcome to the Plot Malaysia. This is our third episode of the new season, and it's the Pullman Show. This is the show for the fans.
By the fans.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Wow, it's a preview show. Definitely both of us are on, of course, a very happy side. Of course, as you can see, we're hoping the best for both our teams. So, Hari, what's in store for us today?
I don't know, man. I don't know if the happy side is the right thing to say, man. Both clubs have started off on the wrong footing, I would say. United even more so, but yeah, looking forward to this. This is the preview show, guys. The Pullman Show. We're going to preview the Man United Liverpool game as we have done in previous seasons, and we've got a stellar cast. We've got the red side. We've got the red side, and then we've got the black side, which is United, you know. That's the black side, you know. So I'll let Ram. I tell you what, I'll let you go first, you know. You want to call on your fellow comrades from the black side?
Oh, yes, I will. I have got two members to join me on the United side of things. You know, very first, of course, we have a very good friend of ours. Of course, he runs his own channel as well. You know, and his show is very interesting. He talks about all the past teams and, of course, past players of the team as well. Very exciting. Let's welcome Raswinder. Woohoo!
Hey,
Ras. Yeah.
nice having you on the show. Nice having me on the show, man.
Sure, yes.
Nice speaking to you guys as well. Been a long time. I'm probably the only one that's not got the memo to wear your club kits, but I got my own pantang larang lah, so that's where that explains it.
That's fine, bro. That's fine, bro.
Welcome
I
on
mean,
the show,
to be
Ras.
honest, nothing will work for United these days. Pantang, no pantang. So, I mean, I think you can just go with the flow, bro. Maybe it's just an embarrassment, you know. Let me just. I think Ras is using the cover of pantang, but actually it's the embarrassment to wear that jersey, you know.
It's
No embarrassment.
No, I don't think so.
Actually, the t-shirt I'm wearing is
the jersey any longer, lah.
The t-shirt I'm wearing is quite apt for our season, lah, Vida. So
Indeed,
that describes us.
Very, very scary movie.
I'll
bring on someone from my side of the from the red corner then. So from the red corner, the man whose hair carries all his strength. He's none other than Samson.
Ooh, all right.
I see.
Hey
now.
guys. Hey.
Hello, resident Pandit Samson. Welcome, bro.
Hello, and thank you for having me again.
Welcome, Samson.
Hari, I need to clarify something. You were saying you were asking Ram to call people from his backside, or was it from the black side?
From the black side, the dark side, bro.
The dark side. Okay, I thought it was his backside.
You see, Samson.
Right.
If your backside is not very dark, something is wrong. Anyway,
It is
moving on.
Okay, all right. Hey guys.
Hey, man. Welcome.
Hey, hi,
Hello.
Samson.
Samsonite.
With you today. All right, let's get
Ram,
the rest in.
you want to get the next guest on from your side?
Yes, from the United side, not the black side. Okay, I don't know why Hari is on that. Okay, from the United side, you know, he's making a debut on our show today on the Plot Malaysia. He's someone I know from the local Manchester United group chat that we have. He shares some pretty good insights. You know, he has shared some pretty good insights in the past as well. Let's welcome, making his debut, Mr. Nesh.
Hello. Welcome.
Yes. Good entrance, bro.
I was gonna say, firstly, welcome to the show for the very first time. I was gonna say you're a bit too early to Old Trafford, which is why it's empty. But then again, I think it's gonna be empty on Monday, apparently. So yeah.
This shows that Old Trafford is always on my back.
I'm so sorry, Nesh. There's an echo that we can actually hear ourselves.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So sorry about it.
Okay, hello.
Yeah. Can you Yeah, we can still hear ourselves. It's okay, no problem. You can go on mute for a second. Then when your turn to speak, you just unmute. No problem at all. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So Nash is on mute to avoid any issues. But you know what? The man from my side of the corner has a similar issue. He's had it for a while now. But he speaks his mind, never short of speaking his mind. He's from the KL Kopites, the official Liverpool Supporters Club of Malaysia, which I'm proud to say I'm a member of as well now. Welcoming on board, Giri.
Hey, hi guys. Thanks for having me on again.
Hi, Giri.
Nice to see you, Ram.
Nice to
Nice
see
to
you.
see you still well.
Yes.
Samson,
Hi,
hi
Em.
Samson.
Hi, Gary. How are you doing?
Okay, mate. Hey, Hari, nice to see you. The last time I saw
nice
you,
to see you.
was at about 6 o'clock in the morning after the Champions League final.
After the Champions League final at 6 a.m. when we were all devastated. But yeah, I mean, it was a good night anyway, I would say.
Yeah.
I hope
good
that
to see you
night
again, bro.
repeats. On
Well,
Monday.
at least it'll repeat for us. I don't see you guys coming close to the Champions League for a while.
Forget the final. You got to get into the Champions League first. Giri,
How's
Giri,
that?
if you don't
How's
mind,
the echo? Yeah.
it's still there. If you don't mind,
Still
going
there,
on
very
mute for a
slight,
bit, and
yeah,
then we'll
yeah.
prompt you.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So guys, listen, we're going to get straight into this now. The preview of the game itself. For guys viewing in, I mean, and yeah, let me just shout out to everyone who's tuned in and watching the show live. Vignesh,
Yes, GGMU.
GGMUs, a lot of GGMUs. I see.
All
Jasmine
right.
Singh,
Yes,
Simba.
Jasmine.
Cheers, man. Welcome to the show,
Simba.
Simba. Yeah, guys viewing, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel as well. We need the likes. We need the subscribes as well. So do hit the like button and subscribe to the show as we kick off the big match. It's United against Liverpool at Old Trafford. But just before we get into the match itself, guys, just for the guys tuning in, I mean, last I saw, I thought I'll give you guys a quick score update, even for those who are on the show right now. The last I saw is I think Spurs are 1-0 up.
Yep. Harry Kane.
Against Wolves. Harry Kane, even though from what I see across the stats, Wolves have been dominating in terms of chances. So yeah, but Spurs up. They look a threat this year. And I mean, I'm actually a bit worried as well, because I think Spurs are going to go great guns, and so are Arsenal. But let's get straight into the big clash line. Let's stop talking about the smaller teams. Let's talk about the big guys. It's United, Liverpool. There's history behind this clash. It's at Old Trafford, which could be empty. It's boycott Old Trafford, from what I hear. It could be empty or full with Liverpool fans. It could be Anfield South or Anfield North, another Anfield North. But yeah, big game. Let's get straight into it, man. So I'm going to get the United side of it first. Ras, on to you, man. Give us your thoughts about this game. How have United started under the stewardship of Ten Hag? Give me your thoughts.
How United start? I think everyone knows that it's been horrible. But not exactly. I probably wouldn't say it's Ten Hag's fault. I'm sure he's got some part in it, but it's just been one word. It's been a disaster. It's been a carry forward from last season. The kind of season that we had. The preseason was a false dawn. We thought, okay, we could be onto something good here, but it's not to be, and it is what it is right now. So it's all a mess. It's a crisis at Manchester United once again. So that's how the season has been. Just 2 games in, and it's already like that. So imagine it's long way to go. God bless us.
That's a good way.
God bless us.
That's a good way. That's a good way to start the show. God bless us indeed. Nash, how are you feeling going into the game, man? Let me just bring something up before Nash has his word as well, and Ram, you can chip in as well. But obviously, news breaking late last night. I think Casemiro's deal has been agreed. I mean, give it, Nash. So give me your thoughts going into this game, and then give me your thoughts about the signing, because I've got my views on this. I mean, it's very peculiar that once the Glazers are put under pressure, they suddenly blow all the money out of the park on a 30-year-old a couple of days before boycott Old Trafford. So it's a bit weird, I think, the timing of the whole thing. And given up on Frankie de Jong, who they were after for a long time. By the way, Casemiro, de Jong, completely different players. So give me your thoughts, Nash, about that signing. He's not going to play, I know, in this game. But about the signing itself, and how are you feeling going into this game?
Coleman?
I would say definitely it's actually a world-class signing because if you can see from Madrid, it's a 5 times UCL bidder. It's just that everyone's concern is being 30 years old. It's not that old actually. Kevin De Bruyne is elder than him. Salah is actually elder than him. So 30, I don't think it's that old. He still actually have 3 to 4 years to give a proper game. And after ages, I would say we actually have a proper defensive midfielder. That's the most important thing.
Finally, good
Yeah,
point, bro.
finally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So definitely, I would say 60 million, 30 years old. Definitely, I would say I wouldn't say it's an excellent buy, but it's actually a buy which definitely we need at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you feeling
And
going into the
Nesh,
game, by
yeah.
the way?
Uh, Under Ten Hag, I would say we started it well, beating Liverpool 4-0 under Ten Hag in friendly. Yeah, but when it comes to league, we didn't actually. I would say the issue is more into off field rather than on field. Off field, a lot of issues under Glazers and the signings, which we have been chasing for 3 months for Frankie De Jong and all those things, doesn't really properly fall into places. So definitely, it's actually a wake up call under Glazer, where he's rushing in the last 2 weeks of the transfer window, trying to get big signings just to save himself. In United, but definitely against Liverpool. Nevertheless, whatever form we are, it's going to be a very big game.
Okay. I mean,
Form
you
is
got
out the
brought
window.
up an interesting point there, right? It's off-field issues. Is it really off-field issues alone? Russ, maybe you want to chip in here as well. Is it really off-field issues? Well, I see a lot of issues on-field, man.
Yeah, true. I think the point you made about
I think
being
the reason I bring this up is, because everyone keeps saying it's the owner's fault, Glazer's out, it's Mourinho's fault, it's Solskjaer's fault. Is it really always people who are off the field's fault, or the players have to take some responsibility here, man? They just seem to crumble every time they're on the field.
Yeah. Certainly the players have. I mean, I don't feel it's just one person's fault. Is everyone's got a part to play in it. In terms of the Glazers, I would say that the issue is like what you said. It's peculiar that once they're under pressure, now they suddenly fork out the money and sign this guy, probably overpaid for a 30-year-old. And I agree with Nash. It's not 30-year-old. It's not too old, and he's still got a good 3-4 years, as he say. And if he maintains himself, maybe even a couple more years to go in his career. Like as in, he could last till what 35, 36. So there's about 5-6 years to go. But having said that, it's not peculiar because they've done this time and time again. So I think that's why the United fans are quite fed up because it doesn't appear that there's a planned strategy when it comes to
It's a
signings.
pattern. It's a pattern
Yeah, it's
every year.
very haphazard, very scatterbrain in that sense. They go after one player and is so stubbornly after that one player only, and then once the pressure, they're under pressure, that's it. They suddenly just go out there, go and sign almost anyone. But it might turn out to be a good signing. I think United fans probably not as excited with the signing of Casemiro because of the nature by which the signing has been made, because all the while we've been after Frankie De Jong. Suddenly you just go and sign Casemiro. He was available all the way. If you were really interested in him and he was really like your first choice or one of your first choices, you could have signed him up much sooner in the one when the transfer window was open. So I think a lot of unhappiness rises from that. And also the fact that when you say, on the field as well, the players are not performing well, is a lot of times they say it's got to do with leadership. Yeah, leadership as well, lack of leadership probably, but there are players there who I would say are leaders, but they're not leading. So could be managers as well. The managers are not coaching the players well enough. That's why you have what we have right now. And I mean, Ten Hag still a bit early in his tenure, so can't judge him on that. I always feel that a lot of times these players that we criticize a lot, if they had gone to City or Liverpool or Chelsea and all, we would seen a very different player. We'd be talking, wow, this player is a great player, a fantastic player. But so that goes down to, boils down to coaching and basically the culture at the
I'm going to
club.
actually mention one such player here, man. I've always said, and he's the biggest scapegoat at United, by the way. He gets a lot of criticism, but I always said,
Yeah.
Fred would have been a good player at Liverpool. He
Yeah.
would do a Gini Wijnaldum role at Liverpool because he's
Yeah.
pretty good on the ball. He's not a defensive midfielder per se, but
Yeah,
he's a link
that's the
man.
problem.
He can play the link man role, and I think he's a very good player actually. And he would do well in the right system, or under the right manager.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like what you said, it's right. You know, in the right system, the right manager, I think he could do well. Even for in the case of Maguire also, probably, playing in the way that we want to play, he's left him exposed, and his weaknesses are all
he
is there
was
for
he
people
was
to
a
see.
he was a better player in Leicester, Maguire.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Probably in a team where they sit back, he's a better player in that kind of team, or in a back three is better because there are other players to help him around. But like that 2-man role, you expected to push up high, play in the center circle. Your defenders got to be there. You're gonna be playing 1-on-1 against the opposition striker. You got to take them on. He's probably left exposed, and that's why it's been widely criticized.
Okay. Let's bring in the Liverpool fans' perspective on this now. So I want to ask how the guys are feeling going into the game. But before we do that, Giri, I mean, obviously the news breaking is Casemiro. So I want to get your quick thoughts on that signing. Like I said, I mean, he's 30 years of age. I think they've overspent on him. The fact that I think it's not the fact that he's 30, because I think there are a lot of players who can go on and a longer period of time, especially as a defensive midfielder. But the fact that they've thrown that much money at him, I think he's on like 375k is what they're throwing at him. Is it repeating a Sanchez situation here? Is it repeating these constant mistakes that United make, like overpaying players who have got maybe no hunger in them anymore? They've achieved everything, and they're just looking for a last payday.
Personally, I don't care. It's their money, and if the fans, Manchester United fans, I continue to rant about their owners, and then also welcome this kind of a spending. I mean, then there's something psychologically demented about the whole argument. I don't see it, because the Glazers have actually spent about 1.4 billion, over the last 10, 11 years. So I don't see what the whole argument is about. They own the club. Fans don't own the club. They want to do a walkout on Monday. I mean, best thing is don't buy the merchandise, don't watch. Bring their ratings down. That will have an effect on the share value. Until that happens, nothing's going to happen. They own the club. The fans don't own the club. So, but as a player, Casemiro is a very, very like a general in the midfield. For a defensive midfielder, he's a box-to-box player. He scores goals as well. I think he's at the tail end of his career, and that was the going price. And prices tend generally, when you're desperate, and Real Madrid are in a process of transitioning into a younger group of players, and Kamavinga is there. So
I think there's too many as well now.
That's right. So, and somebody comes and wants to pay, I don't know, what are they paying for? 70, 80 million?
60, 70 million.
60, 70 million, okay. If he was playing for Liverpool at the age of 30 and had probably a year left on his contract or 2 years left on his contract, I'd sell him and take the money and reinvest it elsewhere.
Yeah, so Real Madrid doing the right thing.
So I think it's a good he's a good player. Whether he's a good signing depends on how he's deployed and how he fits in with the rest of the United team, which, I mean, honestly speaking, I haven't watched enough to be able to make a fair observation.
Yeah, that's a good point, right? Whether he's a good player. Sancho was a good player. Maguire was a good player. Varane was a great player, but they've all kind of been brought down to the level because of the culture of the club. So that's something we wait and see, But enough about United now. Let's talk a little bit about Liverpool, Giri. How are you feeling going into the game? We've obviously not started well. 2 draws back to back. Darwin Núñez is out. Lots of injuries as well. How are you feeling going into the game?
It's too early in the season. I mean, ordinarily, I think we have become quite spoiled by the way in which the team has been performing the last 4 years, and so we expect great things from them. I already said 2 years ago that the cycle of this team this squad was already nearing the end of that cycle, and unless we refreshed it and I think there's an experimentation in the coaching staff to change the way we play, because we're becoming quite predictable. And when they sit in banks of 4 and 5, we have that problem because we tend to send the ball wide and cross it and between Trent and Andy, and it's becoming very predictable. So we need to actually, what we don't have is, I mean, we scored a lot of goals last year, but we didn't score that many goals from midfield. You see? No. So I think there has to be a change and a transition into a different brand of football, which is what Nunes was supposed to be about. But I'm just very concerned about the injuries in the team because so many people are injured. The starting 11, okay, and this is why we've probably drawn the last two games. They can't afford to actually injure themselves. So they don't throw themselves into tackles. They don't go 100 miles per hour until it's too late. And I think I don't expect for this game on Monday. I don't expect what happened last season to happen again. I mean, Liverpool will win it, but I just don't think it'll be so easy. I don't think it'll be so easy. I mean, we are not going to be at 5-0 up at 57 minutes and conducting a training session in Old Trafford again, with or without fans.
Yeah.
Okay, that won't happen. Then that won't happen this year, not because United has improved. It's just that I don't think we are, as a team, ready to do that yet. We have to be careful.
So great point, right? We've got a massive injury list. I mean, Thiago's out, and I think Thiago was brought to make that difference from midfield, as you said. Thread balls in from midfield, be the creative guy in midfield. So we're not over-reliant on Robbo and Trent from the wide areas. He's injury-prone. Naby Keita hasn't really cut the mustard most of the time, not consistent enough. Obviously, Jones is out now. And I think he's stagnated, if you ask me, over the last couple of seasons. Curtis Jones as well. Elliott is back in the side. So the big question, and I've been very vocal about this, I mean, we all trust Klopp, obviously, but I've been very vocal about the fact that we're not refreshing our midfield. And it's been, 2 or 3 years, I feel, where we have not refreshed that midfield. And if you look at the midfielders now, the majority of them are 30 and above, or they're extremely young, like Elliott and Jones, or they're extremely injury-prone, like the Ox, like Thiago, like Keita, etc. So we've got a mixed bag of players who are actually the wrong side of 30, too young or injury prone. So I just want to get your quick thoughts on that, and then I want to shift to Samson as well. Giri, what are your thoughts on that situation? And do we need a midfielder before the end of the window?
I think if we have the right person, yes. I think we never really replaced Gini Wijnaldum, and somebody who can tie in and actually consume spaces and has the skill to take on a midfield block, okay, like Gini used to be able to do. That's the kind of midfielder. Or a midfielder that can, who's got a good shot from outside the box, okay. That's what we need. A Højbjerg or what's this guy from Southampton? Somebody that can score from outside the box. Because then we don't have to rely on our forward. Yeah, Ward-Prowse, that kind of a player. If we have that kind of a player and if it's worthwhile, the price is right, we should go ahead and do it. But we shouldn't just be spending money for the sake of adding numbers.
So then let me just give you the question. Obviously, Klopp has said that as well. He was after Manny. He didn't get him. They want Bellingham next year. So we don't want to scattergun. We don't want to be desperate and make the wrong signing. But you brought up Gini there. He was available on loan. He went to Roma. Why didn't we make a move for him?
I don't know. I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but I think Gini was poorly advised in his final year by his agent, and I think he has burnt his boats with the coaching staff, and maybe that's one of the reasons why. I mean, this is real life. They're humans too. I mean, it's not PlayStation or Championship Manager or something like that where you can just bring in players. But I am sure that this season is going to be a period whereby we start building Klopp starts building the next team. That's what's going to be happening.
I agree. I mean, I think my only concern is, he's bringing in young players like Carvalho, Elliott, obviously is coming to the team, Jones. I just feel there's an absence of players in that medium range, in the 23, 24 range.
Yeah.
Either they're too old or they're too young. And I think that's where there's that gap. And I mean, nonetheless, Samson, let's bring you in. Giri, you don't mind going on mute. Samson. All right, man. Tell us how prepared you are, how excited you are going into this game, and maybe you want to chip in a bit about the midfield situation as well, and the injuries.
Yeah. I mean, how do I feel going into this game? I think, to be honest, I'm
just going to say, right? If United beat us, they go on top of us. Funny as it may be.
Yeah.
Why so surprised? It might just happen. Okay.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's a horrible thought. The fact that you guys have been so crap and you can still go on top of us with a win.
Yeah,
I will take a win any day. Okay. So go on, Samson.
No, I guess a little bit nervous. I guess because of how we started the season and also with all the injuries that that has taken place for Liverpool. To be honest with you, so a little bit nervous there, and then of course we're playing away from home as well. Of course, we know how Liverpool can play. We know they can be very dangerous if they really play and if they show up. I think the first game with Fulham, to be honest with you, I think Fulham took the game to us. I think we probably took them too lightly, maybe, and could have done better. The last game, we waited till it was too late, with 10 men, but we still pressed as much as we did. I think, like even what Simba said, we played really well, just very unlucky. But at the same time, I think, having said that, we still didn't start the season well, and of course, United as well, as you said, they're not very far behind. So a win can just bring them above us. So so a bit nervous, but of course, I think a bit confident that I think they can do it. I think they have the players to do it. They have been playing, all of them. They've been playing with each other for some time. So they understand each other very well. So, but so yeah, and I think I also agree with what Giri is saying as well. That we have gone a bit too predictable as well. So if you realize the last two games, our fullbacks couldn't play their usual games. They shut them down, so they couldn't do what they normally would do. And that reduced our chances. In how we normally would play. So yeah. So I think we need to change a bit. We need to and take the game to United, and I think this is a chance to do it as well, because they are low in morale, and there's a lot of issues going on the field and off the field as well. I think as y'all have covered earlier. So this is the time, we take the game to United, at their home, and yeah, let's do it.
Well,
All right, perfect.
well said, Samson. Just before you carry on, I just want to say that this is the game where initially, obviously previously was very scary. We knew it was going to be difficult. Now we've lost the first two games, and we're going to play with Liverpool. I think if Ras and Nash, both of you, if you agree with me, do chip in as well. I think this is the game that actually we're kind of looking forward to, because we want to put this battle to rest. We don't want this to continue where Liverpool is always dominating us. I think we want to take this to Liverpool and just prove a point. I think it's going to be very crucial. And I think it's going to be a very, very hard fought battle that you're going to see at Old Trafford, regardless of whether it's empty or not. I think that's what's going to happen.
I don't think so, actually. I hope you're right, but I don't think so. I'm quite fearful about the game. I mean, honestly, Liverpool fans might be afraid, or even the players and staff might say, the right things in public. But I think privately, probably everyone's from the Liverpool side will be licking their lips look at this match, because they would say that this is the game where you win 3 points. I see a lot of similarities between this Liverpool and United's past successful teams. So that's why I feel it's a champion team, it's a good team, and they will bounce back. So this probably it is the game. In the past, United maybe might have a stumble, it might be going on a bit of a run where they're not doing too well, and then suddenly comes a big game. They always turn up, they win. So this exactly what I feel Liverpool will do on Monday. So I'm fearful about United's chances.
Okay, thank you very much, Ras. What about you, Nash? What do you think? About that. What I said. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? What?
I would say I would agree with you in this case. The reason is because there will not be a better opponent we could bounce back against Liverpool. I mean, that would be like bouncing, because being low, having two losses back to back. I think playing against Liverpool, we would be, I would say, off pressure. Looking at both of us, I mean, regardless Liverpool or MU, both of us are off form. They have two draws. None of us have the first win yet. So I would say definitely it's going to be an exciting match. Again, we have something to pay back. Old Trafford 5-0 last year. So definitely it's a game that everyone will be looking forward. And it's not going to be an easy game. Definitely, anytime playing against Liverpool, it's not going to be an easy game, but definitely it's going to be worth to watch.
All right. Thank
All
you
right,
very
great,
much.
great.
Yeah,
And I'm
Harry,
just
back
going
to
to
you.
end that by saying we have got something to pay back as well. The 4-0 in pre-season, the Century Cup that you guys
Hey,
won. So
Harry,
we'll go
Harry,
for
That's
that
just
to
pre-season,
motivate. We'll
man.
go for
Come
that to
on.
motivate us. But very quickly,
the
guys,
pitch
from
was
the
too dry for Liverpool. That's why.
so
Anyway, go on.
let's from the United end. Now, this is the starting lineup that I've kind of put there as a tentative start. I want to get your thoughts, guys. So Ram, Ras, Nash, what do you guys think about this lineup?
I
And would you make any changes, Ras or Nash,
yes,
going
I
into
will
this
make.
game?
Yeah, I will make a lot of changes. But Ras, go on.
Yeah, I would drop Maguire and Shaw and McTominay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So who would you go
rest.
in their place then?
Maguire, Varane, and Malaysia for Shaw.
Malaysia. Yeah.
Malaysia volley. Malaysia
Malaysia
volley
volley,
is
sure.
going to play a left back.
Okay.
I would like to see actually. I mean, it's a big game and all that. I know, but I would like to see Zidane, Iqbal, and Charlie Savage in midfield. Just give them a go. You never know.
Probably not in the starting lineup.
Probably
Maybe
even probably even drop Bruno Fernandes.
Mm,
I think he's he's off form a bit and he's
yep.
just playing because there's no really good alternative. If I would say if not play just one between Zidane, Iqbal, and Charlie Savage, and then play Donny van de Beek.
Mm.
So yeah,
Interesting.
that's
And then
my
what
that's my
about and
opinion.
what about? So two questions here, right? Maybe Ram, you can answer this. There are two questions here. What about that front three? Would you make any changes to that front three?
Oh yes, absolutely. Harry, thank you for putting this up. Actually, it's
I would
it's good
like
for
to,
me
but I
to
don't
share.
know who to come in. Except maybe
I,
Garnacho lah. That's the only one. But otherwise, I don't really think we got much
What about
options.
Anthony
I,
Martial? Apparently, he's fit.
No
Martial would
lah.
definitely be one of the selections, but I think I like Anthony Ilanga to be taking over from Rashford because I'm not very convinced with Rashford's play so far. But whenever I see Ilanga play, I see that he's really playing for the team, and I think that he can really cause trouble, especially when you have Malasia on the right back, and with Ilanga playing on the left side. I think it's going to be an interesting partnership. I think it's going to be electric. I think it's going to be super fast, which is what I want to see the United team actually have. In the center of midfield, I'm going to drop McTominay. I don't think I want him to be in the team at all. I think I would, if I could just make a switch. I think we had this discussion before, Harry, and I think I would like to experiment Martinez taking over that CDM role because he's
Interesting.
very good on the ball. I think that he may be 5'9", as what we've spoken before. I don't think he'll be able to contain in defense, but as a defensive midfielder, having him in the place of McTominay would give a lot of push. And I would also drop Bruno Fernandes, and I would really like to give Donny van de Beek a chance because he deserves it, man. Regardless of whatever happened last season, he deserves a start. So I think this would be a good time to showcase his talent against Liverpool. That's what I feel.
Interesting points there. Interesting. So who would you play in defense then? If you move Martinez, you play Varane and Lindelof, correct?
Varane and Lindelof, if Lindelof is
Or
available.
Bailly,
Yeah,
is
no,
it?
Bailly might be moving on, right? So he might not be playing. So I think I would go with Varane and Lindelof if Lindelof is fit. But Maguire, if no choice, Maguire lah, of course. But I would, but then again, in terms of right back, I'm a bit taken aback by Dalot's performance lately. I mean, he was given so much opportunities last season to start, and now. But if Wan-Bissaka is still available, I would like to experiment and see what he can do as well.
Interesting. So, Giri, I want to get your thoughts and get Samson's thoughts on this as well. So, the United guys have spoken. They seem to want a lot of changes in the side. Does anyone in this team in front of you or the changes they've mentioned actually scare you from the United side?
No.
Not particularly. I mean, no, not really.
No one
Thank you,
whatsoever.
Giri.
I think
What about-
I think with
I'm going to play devil's advocate here. What about Christian Eriksen?
if he's used as a defensive midfielder the way he played last week, okay, we'd be all over him. And I really couldn't. I really don't care which 11 United put out. It makes no difference to us. I'm just concerned about the way we play the game and whether we are able to play to our strengths and the way we normally play. If we play the way we normally play or how we played last season, okay, we will walk all over them. Not a problem. They can play anybody as their first 11.
Yeah.
And I think, okay, if Eric Ten Hag can get them to play to about 60% of how his Ajax teams used to play with that speed and intensity, they'd be a quite a good side.
Yeah,
Question is
they'd
whether
keep trouble, yeah.
whether they have the whether they have you don't learn to become a pressing team overnight.
Yep.
Cristiano Ronaldo is not going to do it. I don't think their front three can press right up front. So I mean, so it doesn't fear me. They're probably better on the counter attack. They're probably better off, okay, setting up a very tight defense and playing on the counter attack, playing a long ball, okay, and do what Mitrovic did to us,
And
do what Fulham did to us.
Is that?
I mean,
I'm gonna put it-
they'd be better off doing that, because if they don't, okay, then and if we, for some reason, hit key tomorrow, it could be the repeat of what happened last year. That's just my thoughts.
Harry, thanks,
Yeah.
thanks, Giri. Thanks, Nata. Let me just ask something, if you don't mind, Harry. Can I just ask something?
Yep.
You know, I want to ask. Actually, I want Nesh to do this. Okay, Nesh, Nesh? I want to ask you this question, right? Based on what Giri said, okay, what would you say to Giri? You know, based on whatever changes you want to make on the lineup, what would you say to him?
Okay, actually, what was running in my mind was it'll be good if you can have another show, post-game show, once we are done, Liverpool against MU, so that we can discuss further. But looking at the lineup now, as you're
Okay.
okay, because it's always good, you know, after all the talks, once the game is over, when we come into reality, it will be a good discussion. But talking about the lineup, I would agree to Ram in this case. Definitely, I would deploy Lisandro Martinez as a defensive midfield in this game, especially against Liverpool. Looking at it's definitely something we need to accept. They are a strong side, okay, against Lisandro Martinez. And apart from that, bring in Varane, the World Cup winner, together with Lindelof if he's available, because he's a ball-playing defender. And on the left side, definitely Malacia is going to play the role. And Christian Eriksen and I would say Van de Beek is going to play a role. So it's going to be Christian Eriksen, Van de Beek, and Martinez in the midfield. And front three, I would say I'll bring in Garnacho instead of Rashford to surprise Liverpool, because Garnacho is someone who can be the turning point. He can be the differential in the squad, which Klopp might not expect such lineup. So yeah, this is just my point of view. So let's see how's the lineup going to be.
One thing
From Eric Ten Hag's point of view, I would say he'll still bring in Fred. That's for sure. He might drop Maguire. Looking at his performance, and let's see what the manager wants.
I'm just gonna say something before we move on to the Liverpool starting lineup prediction, right? As well. I mean, Garnacho, man. If you go with Garnacho, I mean, from what I've seen, a little bit of him, a promising player. But correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I haven't seen as much as you guys, but he's not as pacey as Rashford or anything. I don't think he's a pacey kind of a player, right? He's more
He's
of a
born.
he's more of a dribbler, technically sound player, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
And
yes.
and if he's a young boy,
Yeah.
making a start in a big game like that on the left hand side where Trent plays, you're in for big trouble, because if Trent gets time with the ball and this guy doesn't track back, you guys are in for a horrid time.
Yeah,
So that's
I
the
agree.
only
I
thing I'll
agree.
say.
I agree with you, Hari. That's why I'm going with Ilanga. I think Ilanga has more experience, starting more games. That's why I thought Ilanga would be a good start. So yeah,
Can I add something? Can I add
Yes.
something? I
no, you
noticed
can't,
that-
Samson. No, you can't.
You know, I mean,
Keep quiet.
I'll try not to, but no, I mean, in all seriousness, I think if we do have a post-match review, I don't think the United fans will show up, but the
Hey! How many?
Only with 5-0. Only with 5-0.
Only with 5-0. Now, on all seriousness, in the lineup, right? Notice that none of y'all picked Maguire. Now, I do agree a bit with Jaswin Singh. I think he commented something just now. He said Maguire is a good player, but he just don't fit the style of United. Now, you must remember Maguire is one of the players that actually took England to the final in the Euro, right? So and do you think that it is because of United's style of play that he was Leicester's best defender? I think he was the captain at the time. Yeah, okay, maybe he's not captain material for such a big club as United, I definitely do agree. I don't think he's got the leadership quality there. I don't know who in their right mind put him as the captain. But to be honest with you, I think he's a good English defender. Could be one of the best that we have at the moment. But I think leaving him out in such a big game, I don't know if it's a good idea. Other than that, my only other feedback is, to be honest, I would like to see Malaysia play. I think he's very promising and a good signing for United. So yeah.
Would you like to see him play because Salah will tear him apart, or because you actually think he's got potential?
Reverse psychology.
Hari,
Yeah,
can you just see what Samson said? I agree with you, Samson. He is an exciting player, and we're gonna tear you guys apart.
He is, but he's young, so good chance for us to for to give him a test run, right? So you guys want to test your new signings, bring them on, put them on against us, we'll give them a good run. So,
I think I'm up for that, man, because we could shatter their confidence to such an extent they never play for the club again, So I'm up for that as well.
United fans, don't say anything. Let the Liverpool fans talk. We just absorb, listen. Let's see what happens after post-match.
Like Carriers, Azri says, like Carriers at Liverpool, Maguire does not have the mental fortitude to play, and especially captain a big club like Man United. Possibly right. Jaswin's got a point as well. All comes down to players listening and following the tactics laid out by Ten Hag. Some big egos ignoring the instructions. Maybe just not fit enough to take on the instructions. Anyway, moving on to the predicted lineup for Liverpool, guys. So Samson, Gay, what are your thoughts on this? This is what I'm going with, right? So you guys might disagree with this, but I'm going with Alisson in goal. Obviously, we have no choice at centre-backs because we have injuries. So it's Van Dijk, Gomez. And then I've gone with Trent. And the left-back one was interesting. I was actually at half the mind to put Shimikas, actually, because Robertson has had a bit of an iffy start of the season. I had half the mind to go Shimikas, but then I went with Robertson because he's a warrior. In midfield is where I probably made a change, which you guys may have something to debate about, but I've dropped Fabinho. I think he's actually been quite poor the first two games this season. A bit slow, a bit leggy. And I thought when Jordan Henderson went back into the number 6 role against Fulham, our game really improved big time. So I've gone with Jordan Henderson in there. And I think he played that role against United last year as well, Henderson. I think Fabinho didn't play that game. I get the feeling. But so Henderson in there. I've gone with Elliott because I think he's had a really good couple of games. And then I've gone with Naby Keita because he had a brilliant game at Old Trafford last year. And I think he should get a start here. And then up front, again, we don't have a choice. I've gone Luis Diaz, Bobby Firmino, Salah. So quick thoughts on that Robertson situation in the midfield, Samson.
Yeah, I do agree with you actually. But the thing is, we need leaders in the team, and Robertson is one of them. Let's see how he performs in this game. And to be honest with you, Gomez, he should have started. For me, Nat Phillips was a very big surprise in the last game. I think Klopp was saving Gomez for this game because he's a bit injury prone as well. So he could be, maybe he didn't want to take the risk with Gomez, so he put on Nat Phillips in the last game. In midfield, I probably would still stick with Fabinho. Yeah, I know he had a very shaky start the past two games, but to be honest with you, we don't have much of a choice at the moment. So I would go Fabinho, Henderson, and Elliott. To be honest with you, that's my midfield. The front three again, we don't have much of a choice because of the Nunes situation, right? Yeah. So yeah, that's what I would go with. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Giri, what about you?
Well, I don't know what the fitness state is with Naby Keita and
He's fit,
Bobby.
he's fit.
Okay.
And
Okay, very good.
Well, so okay.
Because knowing Klopp, he'll probably go with tested and trusted. Okay, and even though I agree with one of our viewers who made a comment, Azri said that Fabinho has been off, but I think this is a game where we actually need Fabinho. So I would go in the back four. Okay, picks itself as you have put it there, Hari. In the middle, Fabinho at number 6 with Jordan Henderson on the right and Keita on the left. And up front, Salah, Firmino, and Diaz. What I will do is, okay, as he shuffles his midfield in the second half, and I don't know whether Keita is fit enough to play the entire 90, if he takes either Keita off and brings Milner on, or if he takes Firmino off, we'll be short of one striker tomorrow. I would rather see Harvey Elliott play on the right side of the forward line and move Salah into the middle.
Interesting.
I think Salah is getting too isolated on the right flank, okay? Too many times. And it just gives the opposition so much time to reset. And it's a waste. I would rather Salah be going down right the middle and become the target man. Okay, because Bobby is not the player that he once was anymore. He doesn't have the strength, the speed. Okay, and whilst he reads the game very well and holds the ball up, okay, he's been off key. Even the first game against Fulham, he was completely off the pace. So I'd rather see Harvey Elliott start on the right side, because Harvey Elliott is actually a forward. In midfield, in a game against Manchester United, I mean, it may be too big a game for him. If he makes a mistake, he'll never recover. That's the problem with a very young kid. So I think Klopp will save him. I think he will play. I wouldn't be even too off it to say that probably Milner and Henderson and Fabinho will start.
Milner,
because that's
Fabinho,
what that's what experience brings. The United team, whoever they play, they have not all played together for a very, very long time. So the understanding in the United team is not there yet. They are getting there. They will get there eventually, but they're not there yet. It's best that we play with 11 who have played together for a very long time, who can read the spaces, play between the lines, okay, and keep moving the ball forward, because that's what we are good at. And if we start chopping and changing just for the sake of it, which I think is something which Klopp won't do. So he will ease Keita in. I mean, the season is going to be very long. He'll ease Keita into it in the second half. He will ease.
Sorry to butt in here, but I get your points, and maybe Fabinho to start. I went with Henderson because of Fabinho's off form, and I've gone with Elliott because I think he deserves it based on merit. But I get your point as well. I take it on board. The one thing I would say though, if Fabinho and Henderson play, I would start with Naby Keita and not Milner, because that when Milner and Henderson play together, it never really works. And Keita had a brilliant game at Old Trafford, pressing really high up the field. And under Ten Hag, there's one thing United is going to try to play out from the back. And if there's one midfielder we have that can press really well upfield, is Naby Keita. So I'll probably start him and then maybe get Milner to come on later on.
Yeah, the problem is Keita had a muscle injury. And the problem with muscle injuries is you don't know when it could flare up. Wrong kind of contact, okay, at the wrong time, and it'll flare up again. So that's where
Keita has been out with an illness. Actually, he's not had an injury. He was out ill for 1 week. So that's the reason why I've actually thought that he might get a game in there. Purely because he was out ill. He didn't have any sort of an injury whatsoever. Prem's got a good point. I think Harvey needs to start. We need to understand this season midfield is not your engine like anymore. I think it'll be Harvey, Fab, and Keita. Good call there, but I think Henderson starts for his leadership. Big call, but Millie to come on as a sub to control. Interesting. Prem has dropped Henderson altogether. I actually think Hendo has been one of our better midfielders so far, actually. Funny enough. But just those thoughts. Another interesting one. You brought up a great point, Giri. What about the attack? Maybe mix it up a bit, get Salah up front and then get Elliott on the right. We forget we have someone called Carvalho as well. So what we could see maybe is Carvalho come on the left, Diaz moves to the right, which he played quite a bit last year as well. I think United at home, he played on the right. And then maybe have Salah up front. So you could do something like that as well. But a quick thought, Samson, on, I think you've pretty much got your, you've brought up your points on the team as well. Who would you start in midfield? And then I suppose let's start with that. Who would you start in midfield?
Yeah, I think I did mention I would still go with Fab, Hendo, and Elliott. But yeah, good point, Giri, on moving Salah, to being the target man. And I think Carvalho, he's young and exciting as well. So playing him, on the flanks as well. So of course he's more of an attacking midfielder, but yeah, he can sort of kind of switch there. Having Bobby to come in if needed, it's good. So at least we have someone to bring on, at the moment. So yeah, but I wouldn't change the front three. I think the front three is okay. But the midfield for me, I would go with Fab, Hendo, and Elliott.
All right. So before we move on to United fans' perspective on this as well, to see who they're actually afraid of here, or where do they think Liverpool's weaknesses and where do they think Liverpool can actually hurt them based on this side. Samson, I want a quick word on Luis Diaz, man. How impressive was that goal last week, my friend?
Amazing. I think he's been trying that a lot, cutting in and taking shots, so he's got to mix it up a bit, but he is an exciting player. I love to see him play. He brings out that energy and that excitement in the forward line. So yeah, just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, and the way he took the game by the scruff of the neck after he went down to 10 man, he was like as if he was playing like 2 or 3 players first. So that was I thought he was brilliant. As soon as we went down to 10 man, I thought Diaz came alive. All right, quickly, Ras, Nash, what do you guys think about this lineup? Where do you think are Liverpool's weakness and you can hurt Liverpool?
No way.
All right.
Yeah, Nish, go for it, Nish.
Yeah, man.
Go for it.
I would say, being a football fan, someone I missed in Liverpool lineup would be Mane. For me, he was the best player Liverpool had ahead of. I mean, it's my point of view, ahead of Salah. So when Mane is missing from the squad, and that would be one of the reasons why they are kind of off form for the first 2 games. It's from my point of view, because he was the important link to Salah and Diaz last season. They was awesome. 3 of them was awesome. So when Nunes stepped in, I don't think so. He's well prepared. Looking at last 2 games, he's not well prepared to take over the role. And definitely looking at Liverpool's games, definitely I do watch Liverpool games. I watch all the Premier League games. Looking at Liverpool games, Elliott is a standout performer. At his age, he's doing pretty well. So in midfield, looking at Keita would be the weak link, I would say. If it was me, definitely I bring in Fabinho. Nevertheless, he's off form or what, he's one of the best defensive midfielder in the world. Something I need to agree about. Or you can even utilize Fabinho in a centre-back role. I think Liverpool have used that before. And he played pretty well in a centre-back role, I would say. Maybe partnering together with Van Dijk. So I would say, if in this squad, the weak link, I would say Keita. Because for me, in my point of view, he's not up to the standard as Fabinho in defensive midfield or in a midfield role.
Fair enough. So you've picked out a weak link in the side. I'm going to say one thing, Nash, just very interesting. You talk about Mane and how he's made his absence made a difference and how he was electric last year, etc. Very interesting fact point. Liverpool 5, United 0 at Old Trafford last year. Mane did not start that game. He was on the bench. I don't know if you guys know, but he was on the bench. He only came on late in the game when it was already 5-0. It was Jota, Bobby Firmino, and Salah. So again, I mean, Mane was.
Oh yeah, what happened to Jota? Is he injured?
He's still injured,
He's out injured for the last 5-6 weeks. He's been out.
Okay, that's good.
I think Hari, I agree with you last season that of course, without Mane, you guys accomplished a really good deal at Old Trafford, of course. This season, however, is going to be different for sure. But what I see is, of course, with the way Liverpool playing, I think to some extent, like what Giri said earlier, that things are getting a little bit too predictable for Liverpool. Maybe that could be one of the weakness in terms of their methods of play that coming to this game. And I think
let's quickly talk about this, Ram. Since you bring this up, you mentioned Prem's point here, and you can expand on it. I think Fabio Carvalho is key off the bench. I agree. I think he's a brilliant player. By the way, he's young. He's going to be a very, very talented player, this boy, and he could have a good game off the bench. Joe Gomez, I think Man United will exploit LFC's right side. I'm surprised none of you guys brought this up, but I think it's pretty key that, I think it's pretty obvious that every team we play against now tries to target Trent. So it's possible that United will try to target Trent through Rashford or Martial or whoever might play there. So Ram, you want to add to that?
Yeah, Trent has been good, in the past few games. He has been good. So obviously it's not going to be easy. But I think how I see United playing this game against Liverpool, knowing how Liverpool play. Last season, I think United tried very hard to press. If you remember, we tried very hard to press.
I try not to remember.
We tried, but yeah, I had to unfortunately have to remember it, to say this, right? So I think what United is going to do is they're going to play long, using the pace up front. I think it's going to be a lot more. You're going to see Liverpool having the possession of the play for sure, but I think it's going to be long. It's going to be utilizing the pace on the left and right, and I think it's going to be a totally different play from United. We don't mind sitting back and allowing you guys to attack, but I think our strength lies in counter attack. So I think that's what we are going to be setting up to do. Hopefully, of course, my only hope, of course, is that Ruben Diaz doesn't play too well, because I think he's fantastic.
Not Ruben
I
Diaz,
think
Luis Diaz, my
sorry,
friend.
Luis Diaz.
Salah
Luis Diaz.
orang,
I always
bro.
get mistaken.
Bro.
Luis Diaz is fantastic. I think he is brilliant. In terms of bringing on the play. Even though 10-man Liverpool, he could score. I also think that, in my opinion, of course, Mo Salah is always the target man, but I do think that Luis Diaz is a far more threat going forward, in my opinion. And if United can actually shut him down or allow him less time on the ball, I think the key is less time on the ball, because the more time he has on the ball, he always finds something to do. So I think if we can actually achieve that, then we can achieve something in the game on Monday. Yeah.
Hey Ram, you mentioned something about United being good in counter attack. I think we're going to take you guys to school on the counter attacking side.
Take me to school, bro. It's fine. But I just know for a fact that in a game like this, the best way to play Liverpool is to go long, instead of trying to press them the way that Liverpool will press us. So
The one thing I'll say though,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
you got to play that to perfection, because Fulham did it
Yeah.
because they had a strong target man in Mitrovic. You guys don't have
Yep.
that, like, to be honest. You don't have a
Yep,
target
yep,
man like
yep.
that in your squad. So it's
Actually, I
difficult
would
to
go
play
with a
Liverpool.
3-5-2 actually for United.
Mhm.
Let's start with
Oh.
3-5-2. And like what Ram said,
I thought you were going to say you were
Keep
going
it
to go
tight.
for we're going to go for your 5-5, bro.
Yeah. Precisely lah. That's the whole idea. When we're defending, is going to be 5-5. Real old school Italian style. Sit back, defend. I'll be happy with 0-0 draw, or we
Yeah.
just nick it 1-0. I'll be happy with that. But yeah, that's my opinion. I think it's. I don't know whether Ten Hag is gonna do that, but I think I would start with 3-5-2. And Liverpool fans, I've heard y'all speaking about, oh, this fellow's off form, that guy is not doing well, this, that, and the other. But trust me, when it comes on Monday, all your players will come on the field. They'll look like world class players. Our players will look clueless. We talk about counter attack. We talk about hitting the long ball, sitting back, defend. We're probably gonna see some 11 clueless players running around, don't know what to do. That's
I genuinely
that's what
hope.
I fear. That's what I fear. But I hope I'm wrong. But
I
that's
genuinely
what I
hope
fear
that's
is
the
gonna
case.
happen.
I
And it
just
will
want to
take
address.
time. But I agree also
Don't be
that it will
modest,
take
bro. Don't be
time.
modest.
It will
Just
take time for Ten Hag to get his philosophy right, and the players to understand it. But I think it will also take a few transfer windows, because players need to leave as well, not just
Yeah.
signing players.
And Raz, I thank you for that point. Yes, absolutely, it's not going to be an easy game for sure. There are things to be worried about in United sense, of course. Nesh, just very quickly tell me, how do you think United should play against Liverpool? Like, should they go long? Should they go counter? What should they do? No,
I
or
would
press?
say definitely what Ten Hag's philosophy is pressing game. Looking at from the first few games, he like to play high line. That's Ten Hag's style of playing. But
But it's not
against
working. It's not working.
yeah,
It's not working. So
exactly.
what do you
But
think you should do?
especially against Liverpool, it's going to be very dangerous to play in that way. And for me, if I would say, definitely I would pull back, hold the line, and counter attack definitely would be the best choice to play against Liverpool at the moment, because we need to have the possession football where we need to learn to hold the ball. So as long as the more we hold the balls, the more confident the players will become. Simple as that. So as long as you hold the balls and you play the short pass, then once the confidence is there, definitely the goals are going to come in.
I just want to quickly add something. Prem brought up a good point here, and I wanted to quickly address this about Nunez and how we may have to play differently, because Nunez is not a Mane, he's not a Firmino, he's a target man, he's a typical number 9, he's like a Haaland. Just a thought, Prem, I was thinking maybe as the season goes on, maybe we should look at Klopp's favorite formation at Dortmund, go with 4-2-3-1. That way you play 2 central midfielders, maybe Thiago Fabinho or Thiago Henderson, you can rotate there. And then you play 3 attacking midfielders. You go Diaz, Salah, and maybe a Carvalho or an Elliott or someone like that, or Keita. And then you have Nunez up top playing as a typical number 9. It could be something we do moving forward, but something that we can explore definitely, man. All right, guys, we've come towards the end of the show. I want quick predictions from all of you guys. Obviously, we're all fired up now, talking about this game. So I want to get quick predictions from everyone about how you think this game is going to pan out. So Giri, we've got Giri back as well. He had, I think he dropped off a while ago. I don't know if he's back on. Oh, no, he's still having trouble. But while Giri gets on,
I think when Giri heard about United counter attacking, he got scared. He went off. Anyway, go on, Elias.
wow,
Probably
I don't know about that, bro.
probably if it was 93, 94 or something like that, maybe he would have got scared, lah, but not today. lah.
It's always a good sign when you see United fans wanting Liverpool to win, to get the Glazers out.
Yeah,
But
he laughed too loud, bro. He just pressed the exit button accidentally.
I've got Giri back on.
Hi, Giri. Welcome back.
Liverpool fans enjoy Ynwa while it lasts. Well, yeah, I mean, that's exactly what we said to United fans back in the 90s and the early 2000s, So it's always, every dog has its day, as they say. Quick predictions from everyone as we get ready for the game on Monday. So we'll start.
Before that, Hari, I heard what you guys said.
Okay.
In my absence, okay. And I'm one of those vindictive persons who never forgets.
But Giri, I haven't finished.
Okay.
I want to say.
So you better hope your counter attacking works.
But it's okay. I love you too, Giri. I love you too. Be nice. Yeah, I love you too.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you play counter attack, also you got to get it to perfection, because if not, Liverpool will just keep the ball and hurt you. And in your home ground, you end up ceding possession. It's not going to look good, especially with the fans piling the pressure on. But anyway, quick predictions. I'll start with you, Russ.
Okay.
What does your head say, and then what does your heart say? I give you both options,
Liverpool to win, 1 or 2-0.
Is that your head
Could
or
be
your heart,
more.
or both?
Head, yeah. Heart, of course, you want United to win, but logically, I think Liverpool will win.
Okay, let's go with you, Samson. What about you?
Look, United still hasn't scored. The only goal that went in was an own goal for them at Brighton. So I don't think they're going to score against Liverpool. So 3-0,
I love that. I love that. I love the optimism. Going to this. Nash, what about you?
I would say United's backline is not stable yet. So I'm still going for a win 2-1. Ronaldo to perform.
Ronaldo to perform. Oof. All right. Giri.
I'm going with 3-1 Liverpool.
All right. United to score and Liverpool to win 3-1. You want to give us
Yep,
scores?
3-1 Liverpool. Goal scorers: Salah to score 2, and Van Dijk to score.
Oh, brilliant.
1.
Okay, Giri, we need you on mute. Okay. All right. Now, Ram, give us your prediction, man.
Well, I'm not going to be too optimistic. I think it's going to be my mind tells me it's a 1-1 draw. My heart tells me it's going to be a 1-0 win for United.
Yeah, something's wrong with your heart, bro. Something wrong with your heart. Get it checked.
Something's wrong with the heart, bro. Get it checked.
Get it checked.
I'm going to
just keep quiet.
I'm going to go with I'm going to go with 2-0. I think it'll be a hard-fought game. I don't think it'll be like last year. I think it'll be a bit more hard-fought. I think United players will put a bit in, but then once Liverpool score, and they'll crumble a little bit again. So 2-0 Liverpool. My goal scorers, Luis Diaz, and I was going to say that as well, Virgil van Dijk. I think Van Dijk breaks the deadlock, actually, from a corner or a free kick. And then Luis Diaz adds a second goal on the counter-attack, as you guys say. But that would be on the counter-attack. But anyway, so great chat, guys. Fantastic build-up to the game. Good luck for the game. I think Liverpool will walk this game, hopefully at least. But good luck to United fans anyway. Hopefully you are successful in getting the Glazers out. It may take another 10 years, but good luck nonetheless. It took us very long, so that's why I know.
Well, we are all saying hello to Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Hopefully that
Yeah,
works.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
Elon Musk, he can make a joke or two, but I think maybe he could be serious somehow. Let's see what happens. If Elon Musk becomes the owner, he could literally promise United the stars and the moon. Anyway, that was a punch. Okay, so
As long y'all don't go there and play, y'all play in the field. Then I think y'all.
No,
be fine.
Maguire will go there for sure. Anyway,
Okay,
so
send Maguire there.
Apparently, Chelsea are interested in Maguire, and you know what the best part is?
Oh.
Maguire may move there and become an absolute world beater, man.
Yeah, that's
Let
what
him
I
go.
fear as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
let him go. Let him go. I can't stand the sight of him anyway. So
I'll tell you something now. I'll tell you something very controversial. I would take Fred in a heartbeat. I think
Yeah,
Fred
you-
under.
you-
I think
you-
Fred
you
under
told
Klopp.
that.
I think I mentioned. I'll say I'll take that. I'll take him in a heartbeat. If we were looking for a midfielder, take him on loan. I think Klopp will turn the guy into a really
That'll
good.
be
When he
interesting.
plays,
Yeah,
do you know when
definitely
for
do need
Brazil
that.
he starts? Fabinho doesn't start games, but Fred starts for Brazil.
Yeah,
For Brazil, but Firmino for Brazil, he plays at number 8. That's the best position for him to play at number 8, not at number 6.
Exactly
Not
what I'm
defensive.
saying. If Klopp brings him in, he'll never play him as a 6. He'll play him as a 8.
That's
Why
when
he's been
Casemiro.
4 or 5 years United, and
Yeah,
he's
that's
always played
when
a 6.
we feel like when Casemiro steps in at number 6 and Fred, I think that'd be a good combination. Let's see.
Oh, good. Absolutely. I'm
See?
actually very excited to see what happens in the next coming days to the transfer window, weeks to the transfer window. So before we end the show, I just want to give you all a quick update on the scores. As I see, full-time Spurs has won it. So I think Spurs has gone top. No.
Is
haven't
it
What's the
won?
score?
No. 1-0.
1-0.
1-0.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spurs. All right. And you've got Crystal Palace currently on the 12th minute ongoing. It's 1-1 with Aston Villa.
That's a
You've
good
got,
game.
That's a good game. You've got Ollie Watkins and Wilfred Zaha scoring on that game. And then, of course, Everton is still 0-0 with Nottingham Forest, still on the 14th minute. Fulham, they are leading 1-0 against Brentford. I believe the scorer is Bobby Reed. Oh, on the first minute itself. That's going to be interesting. Very early goal. See how that happens. And of course, the last match for tonight is Leicester and Southampton still 0-0.
Actually,
yeah,
there's another
those-
game. There's another game tonight. There's a late kickoff, obviously later,
Yeah.
which is Bournemouth, Arsenal. Arsenal could go top, and like I said,
Oh,
Arsenal
yeah,
looking
yeah, yeah,
really,
that's-
really good. Looking
I'm
at
going to
really,
watch
really
that
good
game
side.
actually. I'm looking forward to watch that game. I
Yeah.
want to see what happens. It's
Yeah,
gonna
bro,
be
Jesus
very,
is my
very exciting.
captain in fantasy, so hopefully he scores a hat trick or something. Let's see.
Yeah, that's a
Okay,
really good
well.
signing, man. Fantastic signing. But anyway, guys, hand it over to you, Ram, to sign off.
Once again, of course, thank you very much, everyone. Ras, thank you for joining us. Really appreciate your
Hey, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me, Harry.
Pleasure.
Thanks a
Thank
ton,
you very
Gary.
much, Gary.
Thanks,
Thank
Nash.
you so much
Thanks,
for
Samson.
having.
Thanks, Ras.
Thanks, Nash.
No problem.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Sang.
Samson,
Welcome,
as
welcome.
always.
Thanks for having me. Cheers.
Been a power
Good luck.
show, man. Thanks, you guys.
Good luck. Good
So
luck.
signing
Yeah.
off from the plot, Malaysia. This is the show for the fans.
Bye,
Bye,
the
the
fans.
All right.
Good luck, guys.
We'll never clone, guys. Wow.
Good luck.